Hello, beautiful souls. Victoria here from soulhealingtribe.com and the Awakening the Healer Within training program. This is the Chiron series, Chiron in Capricorn for today in the 10th house. So we're going to be talking about what is the Wonder Healer. We did the introduction video. So I am going to invite you to go back to that video so that you can understand what is the Wonder Healer. Why does it matter? Why do we need to be paying attention to that? In order for us to discover some of the wounds that we have been carrying for multiple generations, multiple lifetimes, in order for us to heal so that we can feel better here now. So today is going to be Chiron in Capricorn in the 10th house. Here we have the wounds of achievements, wounds of not being recognized, wounds of not being acknowledged, maybe even having a lot of issues in regards to work and career, corporate careers. Perhaps not being recognized by society and your family or even yourself, feeling like this honor may be an issue here for some of you, and pride, being too prideful. So this is the 5th time that I'm trying to record this video because I have so many phone calls. So anyways, just needed to respond to that. So anyways, here when we have the fear of failure, this is probably going to be a big one for those that have Chiron in Capricorn. You may experience a lot of anxiety and pessimism in regards to something that is very important to you. Normally, Capricorns have a lot of persistent energy, like they're very ambitious, very driven, very practical, grounded. However, they can also have those anxiety and pessimism in regards to something that is very important to them, depending where your Chiron is in Capricorn, in which house. If it's in the 10th house, it's probably going to be related to work, career, your pride, honor, integrity, recognition in general, and like being seen and valued by those that you want to be seen and valued, normally family, friends, and society. So when you consider the Capricorn people that are, like they're overachiever, they are driven, they're persistent, like, man, they're like really, they have obviously their earth energy. So they do tend to be very practical and have a common sense approach. And they can be very patient and very strategic. The problem is if it's not in balance, they're going to be very impatient. And that impatience is going to drive them to do a lot of things that are going to be considered self-sabotaging. So also a lot of wounds with pride. So you might go too far in order for you to keep a public image, without taking into consideration that you might be self-sabotaging yourself. So when you consider Capricorn, is also a negative sign, has a lot of feminine energy, just like Pisces, Virgo, Taurus, Scorpio, right? So a lot of the negative signs are the feminine signs within the zodiac, and they are contracting signs. They're very receptive. So they go inward for them to understand what's going on, but they also pick up everything from everybody else around, and it just amplifies what you feel. So it may feel very confusing inside of you because of everything that you're picking up without even knowing that it's coming from your surroundings, naturally, because it is a negative sign. What is considered negative signs, they tend to be very receptive, a lot of moon energy too here. So as that sign is contracting because it's negative, you are able to be very sensitive to your surroundings. So it makes things even worse, because sometimes at work, you may even know what your colleagues are feeling about you or other situations, and they have no idea why you act crazy, because they're not saying what they're thinking, but you can feel it and you know what it is. So these people tend to do have a lot of gifts of mind transference, meaning like you can actually hear and feel what other people are thinking, even with them then realizing that they're doing it. And sometimes they're doing it unconsciously and you're just tapping in. So with the 10th house, though, that what this means is that you're going to have a lot of disturbances at work, in your career, if it's not in balance, if it's not in balance, right? So your contributions may not be recognized by your managers and others, colleagues or family members, everything that you do maybe seem like you're being too much, and they're not realizing that they're doing it, that you're doing it because you want to feel like they appreciate you, but they might not even say it like that. So it's going to create even more wounds. So when you think about your ambition, you might take it too far you might take it so far in order for you to feel like this is what you need to do in order for you to be recognized by those that you value. So your public image is a big one here. It's something that it's going to be important for you to heal, letting go of what other people think about you and how they value you, but how you value yourself. And to do that, you're going to have to do a lot of work, because Chiron in Capricorn, especially if you have it on the 10th house, is like double whammy. Like you really need to put in a lot of work to let go of what does it mean to be valued by yourself or others. So yeah, so if you have all of these wounds, there is going to be deep sadness in regards to you not feeling value, like people not recognizing everything that you do for them, and feeling like no matter how much you do, people are just, like the word that was coming out, it was like people are just stupid, like they don't see everything that you do. So it creates deep pain and suffering about no being recognized for who you are. It's almost like it's just a loop that keeps going on. So there is a lot of self-punishment because you don't want to feel that way, but you do. So there is a lot of self-sabotage and punishment, self-punishment that you do to yourself, because you feel like when is this going to be over? Yeah, it just feels like that. So, with Capricorn, these people can be very good. They're very strategic, very stable, very, they can be stubborn too, though, but they know that hard work pays off. The problem is that sometimes they don't even, if there are either way of the balance, they might be doing too much or too little, depending on where you are. And if you're doing too little because you're afraid of failure, you can also be doing too much because you are afraid of failure. Because if you don't do too much, you're going to fail. And if you do, you're going to fail. So there are these really bad unbalance about what does it mean to achieve what you want out of life. So you might even give up before you even start, depending on where you are within the scales. I want you to consider that, because I think some people just look at Capricorn like, oh yeah, driven and persisting in this, but they don't see the other side, where some people that are Capricorn are on standby because they are afraid of the failure. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. When it comes to the wounds of recognition, though, like I say, is feeling like no matter what you do, it's never enough. So you keep going, and there's no end. Like you just become a workaholic, or you become an over giver in order for you to feel like somehow they're going to recognize what I'm doing, and they're going to feel sorry because they didn't see that before, and this and that, but that doesn't happen. So then you feel bad, and it's just a loop. So you might criticize yourself a lot. Like you might have such a strong inner critic that drives everything that you do. And probably in childhood, your parents, siblings, or teachers told you that it wasn't good enough. Whatever you did wasn't good enough. Go do it again. So you keep repeating, you keep living life from that specific moment when something like that happened, whether it is in this life or other lives, and probably other lives. Yeah, probably other lives, because it's a lot. So you have the fear of failure, you have the fear of being an underachiever, you have the fear of being an overachiever, you have issues with praise, you have issues with not being acknowledged. So when you think about the healing abilities that you come with, think about what is the feminine energy within your Capricorn, Chiron in Capricorn. You're going to have a lot of empathy. Like those that have the negative signs, they can sense and know things that other people cannot. And because it's in Capricorn, you're going to be able to understand the emotional mental planes, the higher planes, to understand what's happening there and how to make it, anchor that teaching in the practical here now. So you're going to have a lot of ability to translate complicated concepts and other realities into the here now. You also have a lot of empathy. So you probably may be an empath already or going through the process of opening your empath abilities, a lot of intuition and sensitivity. And because you are an earth sign, you're also going to have a lot of nurturing energy within you, as well as creativity to make complicated things look practical, like, oh, wow, common sense type of thing. And that's because of all of the components that make you who you are. So navigating through the material, this reality, right, through the other mental planes to make 2 and 2 become 4. It's like, oh, 2 and 2 is 4. But for somebody, it's very complicated, but for you, it's easy. So you might be able to help other people understand very complicated things in order for them to grasp what they need to grasp. So you might be a really good teacher, very good at holding space naturally with your feminine energy. You and uniting both of them, right? Like the feminine and the masculine energy. Also, another thing is like infusing others. Like I see you infusing others with your energy, like that energy of persisting and ambition for those that don't have that. And they might have a lot of air and fire, but they don't have any earth. So they need that strategic, like this is what needs to be done, 1, 2, 3. You will be able to infuse those people, whether you do it through coaching, life coaching, sports therapy coaching, empowerment sessions, therapy, whatever you decide to do. You could be infusing your energy or bringing down energy that is what they need in order for those people to do what they need to do. I also see a lot of people doing physical healing, like working with herbs and the elements in order for especially earth elements to assist others. And now let's make sure that we understand what this means. Physical healing, like even with your hands, and I see like a lot of picking up a lot of residue with your hands and like actually moving things from the physical body, whether it is through Reiki, shamanism, or some other therapy way. Like I feel a lot of residue in my hands, like you're picking it up and moving it to the side. Healing also the need for those that are like Capricorn, like I need to be praised. You will be helping them also get rid of those needs to be praised, to be valued by others, because you're going to help them do that for themselves, like really understand and believe in themselves. So the validation from others won't be painful anymore, because once they feel it within themselves and they believe in themselves, everything else is like, oh, it's just a bonus. So as you heal through these things, you're also going to be able to help others do the same. So I think I'm gonna leave it here, because I don't know why I got so tired. I tried so many times and I kept getting interrupted. And anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. I hope you got something valuable out of this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.